Our story begins in Carlsbad, New Mexico. On the afternoon of March 2nd, 2014, Carlsbad Emergency Dispatch received an alarming call.
Carlsbad 911, what is your emergency?
Yes, my girlfriend left last night. We were at the Stevens bar and staying in the hotel there, and she hasn't made it back to the hotel. I don't know where she went. She was talking about leaving with some other guy, and she hasn't made it back.
Okay, and where are you at?
The Stevens Inn.
What room?
402.
What is your name?
It's Robert Early. I've been pacing since 5:30 this morning.
Okay.
Just because she was pretty intoxicated, and
okay.
She had some insecurities. And
okay, what is her name?
Emily Lambert. I didn't know, maybe she got picked up for a PI. Maybe she walked down the road. She was in a really cute dress and some high heels, and I had her ID, and her phone was in the room on the charger. We took my phone, and I really didn't think anything of it because she was like, well, this guy over here has been hitting on me, and he said, if you aren't going to treat me right, then he'll take me home. And I was like, whatever, if that's what you really want.
Okay, what color dress?
It was like white and black with black high heels with little bitty silver balls, I think, on the bottom of the heel. And her purse is in the car. I mean, she don't have anything with her. I've driven up and down the street to look to see if she was walking down the road or something.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't seen her. And I've talked to her parents, to her ex-husband. Nobody's heard from her.
Is her phone in the room, or her purse is in the car?
Yeah, her phone is here.
Let me go ahead and have an officer come see you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
3 days earlier, February 28th, 2014, in Bedford, Texas. 30-year-old elementary school teacher Emily Lambert had planned a weekend getaway. As a full-time teacher and single mother of two, Emily occasionally had her parents watch her children. This allowed her to meet up with her boyfriend, 33-year-old Robert Early, who worked over 400 miles away on an oil rig in Carlsbad, New Mexico. Donna Koenig said her daughter Emily seemed happy with Robert. One of the things she enjoyed most about him was how good he was with her children. Stephen Koenig said his daughter planned to have a relaxing weekend in Carlsbad and return Sunday, mid to late afternoon. After an 8-hour drive, Emily met Robert at the Stevens Inn, where he's living, as he searched for something more permanent. Everything appeared well until 2 days later when Emily was to return. Donna received an unexpected message from Robert, saying to call him. She called him back and asked if there was a problem. Robert said that Emily was missing. He told Donna that they were having a good time throughout the day on Saturday, but that night they had gotten into an argument at the bar and Emily stormed out. Robert said that he hadn't seen her since. He said he could not contact her because she had left her phone in the hotel room. Emily's car was still in the parking lot. Donna advised him to call the police. Robert made the 911 call reporting her missing, which is the call you heard earlier. Donna said that this wasn't like Emily. She never left her girls and loved her teaching job. Carlsbad detectives Scott Naylor and Blaine Rennie went to the Stevens Inn. Detective Rennie said that they rarely receive calls on missing adults. Investigators did not audio or video record Robert's initial statements inside the hotel room. Later that day, Robert provided his account during a formal interview. The detective had him start when Emily arrived in Carlsbad. To save time, I will summarize what happened Friday evening and Saturday morning. Emily arrived in Carlsbad on Friday at around 10 p.m. Robert and Emily spent a few hours at the hotel bar, and then, at around midnight, the couple retired to the hotel room for the night. On Saturday, the couple spent the first half of their day at restaurants and bars in nearby towns. Here is Robert's account for the rest of that day.
We headed to Route 21.
Okay. Why did you decide to go to Route 21?
Because Emily wanted something to wear, and I wanted to get. I had button-up shirts and stuff, but I was like, if I see a cool shirt, I'm gonna get one. And she said on the way there, she's like, well, I like you in teal and I like you in blue. I was like, okay, well, if we see anything like that, then we'll pick out something. And we pulled in there, and it looked like almost every store was closed by the time we got there. It was dark. And we went into Route 21. She looked around. She was wanting a dress originally, but she didn't see any dresses she liked.
So you didn't buy anything there?
No, she wouldn't. She got a cute little dress she seen that had this kind of looked like makeshift cups kind of on it, and it was white and black, went down, and from here down it was see-through. So while I was waiting in the line, she was searching for pants, some sort of panties to cover it up, because the ones that she had brought were more sexy, and she ended up getting a black pair that said "badass" on the back, on the butt. We purchased our things, left, got in the car, back to the hotel. No, I think I got a grape and an orange crush drink to mix with the vodka. Pulled into the Stevens. We made a mixed drink while we started getting ready. We went to Trinity's. She got wine. I had Blue Moon.
So just you and her went to Trinity's?
Yes.
Okay.
I have several pictures from Trinity's.
Why did you take pictures at Trinity's?
Because we always take pictures of each other. She was being goofy and said something about, you like to take a lot of pictures. She's got some insecurities and stuff, and she was like, why do you like to take so many pictures of me? Always wanting to know, do you love me? She's one of those girls. And so I was like, really, she started clicking away. I think I took like 6 or 7 pictures. And
so she was asking you why you take pictures of her.
So much. She was like, you really just like...
Is that what she asked you?
Mm-hmm. She was like, why are you taking so many pictures? And I was like, because I think you look sexy.
And then what happened?
Then we came back to the Stevens, made another drink, killed half of it. I killed half of it, she killed half of it. And then we walked over to the Stevens bar.
Okay. About what time was that?
8-ish.
8-ish?
Something like that. I know I had some Miller Lights. I think I had a vodka OJ. I had a couple of Vegas bombs. Emily came up with her own drink called the Texas, which is 1,800 and something else dressed. David had bought us 3 or 4, 5 rounds pretty quickly. Then I think Emily got a round of shots. I'm not sure if we actually had a round of shots on the tab. I didn't close my tab out that night. Gabe beat me in the first game of pool we played. I played some more. Emily had gone to the bathroom a couple of times and told me that every time she went to the bathroom, she was getting hit on. I don't really think nothing of it because she gets hit on everywhere she goes. The third time she came back, or the time she had this, she was like, this guy over here said, if you don't want to take care of me, or you don't take care of me right, he'll take me home. And I was like, it really kind of hurt my feelings after the whole day and everything. And I tried to have a speech with her, letting her know, we're going to a roughneck bar. We're going to an oil field town. This isn't Fort Worth. This, it's different place, different kind of people. You're going to get hit on a lot. Most of these guys either single, wives at home, or they've been out here a long time. They're horny, and you're a good-looking girl.
So did it make you mad?
I mean, I was playing pool. Really, I really didn't think too much on it. And then when she said it the second or the third time she came back from the bathroom, I was like, if that's what you want, Emily, you want to go off with some stranger that you don't even know, go ahead. I was like, nobody said that you had to be with me, and she's like, I'm leaving. I figured, whatever, you're just going to go and, smoke a blunt in the car, calm down, come back and apologize.
What changed throughout the day?
I think the alcohol. I mean, it just...
For you or for her?
For her. I mean, she just all of a sudden just was trying to make me jealous. And like talking about other guys talking to her and hitting on her. And I didn't...
playing pool with you and...
She did play a couple games. I forgot about that because I had to stand behind her because her dress was so revealing. I had to stand behind her to keep from showing her panties. And we danced. I forgot, we danced a couple times, and we were having a great time, and then she started getting hit on once it started getting crowded, and she started saying little sly comments, like trying to either get a reaction or me, like, oh, baby, she likes to hear that, make her feel good. No, you know, be with me, this and that. You don't want to be with any other guy. And normally I would, but I was just like, if that's what you want, go ahead. You know, Emily likes to get hit on. She likes attention. She loves it.
Did she say anything when she left?
I can't remember exact words, but it was something like, "You, I'm leaving," or "I'm leaving."
What was your response?
I was like, "All right, whatever, leave."
Did you leave the bar?
Yeah, because I was afraid that she would get drunk. She was knowing that she was drunk and would load her stuff up and attempt to drive back to Fort Worth.
So did you followed her out of the bar?
No. I never seen her when I left. I must have unlocked the door. She wasn't in the room, and that's how I locked myself out. I walked back to the bar and told Gabe that she actually left, and he was like, "What? I can't believe she actually left you." And then I must have went back to the room and I couldn't get in. And then I had to go get the room key. And then I went back to the room, got myself in, noticed that her phone and everything was still in there. I called her. I looked through my phone. I thought I called her 4 times. I started pacing around, so I walked outside. I locked myself out, and then I went and got another room card, because I specifically remember the lady at the front desk telling me that she wouldn't give me another room card if I slammed the door. And then I went back to the hotel room. I was pretty pissed off, and she still hadn't come back. I remember kicking her car.
Where did you kick her car?
Just on the driver's side. I was like, man, where's she at? I thought she left with somebody. I couldn't believe at that point in time, I was like, I cannot believe that she would leave with somebody after that great vacation day and everything we had. She talks about smoking weed all the time to everybody. It's like her every day, all day. I mean, she has to stay stoned. That's the way she copes with all her issues in life. Yeah, I got to the room. She didn't have a room key or nothing, you know. She didn't have anything on her. I had her ID. I mean, we had my phone. Everything was left in the room.
So you went directly to the room
That's
after leaving the bar?
Yes.
Did you see her anywhere?
I did not see her. That's why I'm pretty sure I came back to the bar. Now that I'm remembering, I think I came back to the bar and told Gabe she's actually gone. She actually left.
So before, I don't want to skip anything. So you left the bar and you said you went back to room 402. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Why did you leave the door cracked?
Because I knew she didn't have a key. And I didn't know if she was going to be able to get one from the front desk. And I was.
Well, if you were in the room, I mean.
She could have knocked on it. She could have.
Typically people knock on the door.
Yeah, I mean, she could have knocked on it, but I know I left it cracked for a little while. I know I did. That's the only thing in my mind, because I was pretty drunk and I know I went to sleep. But it's the only way I can think that I would actually let that wiener dog get out. Because in the morning, when I searched around for the wiener dog, I was like, oh my God, it's gone. I remember I was going to go look for her. I was like, I wonder if she's walking around here. So I hopped in my mom's car, drove around. I went down Canal, turned to look. I'm looking on the side of the road, just seeing if I see her anywhere. Then I started realizing, oh shit, I can't get another DWI. And I don't think I bought any cigarettes. I don't think I bought anything. I turned back around, went to the hotel room, and went back inside the room and went to sleep.
And you were in the Elantra?
The Hyundai.
The Hyundai Elantra?
Yes. I fell asleep waiting on her on the bed. I remember I woke up fully clothed.
Did you look around the hotel at all for her, or did you go back to the bar to see if maybe she was there, or?
I don't know if I walk over to my boss's room. No. I mean, I figured she had to come back. I mean, all of her stuff was there. There's no way that she wouldn't be back. And by the time
she had left all her stuff in the room?
Yeah. She was wearing a dress with no pockets and heels.
Did she have a purse?
Her purse was left in the Febreze from dinner.
Did she have anything on her person?
Nope. I had her ID.
You had her ID?
She gave it to me. I put it in my wallet. I had the debit card and my ID.
Her debit card?
Yeah, and I had a room key. I remember that. I had a room key when I went into the bar because you have to show them the room key to get in for free.
You didn't see her at all after she left the bar?
After she left the bar, I did not see her again. I still have not seen her. So I've been telling everybody. I mean, I laid there for a little bit on the bed and then and passed out, and I woke up in the morning early.
Did you call anybody?
I didn't call anybody till the morning. And I called my mom. I think it was the first calls I made a couple times, telling her that Emily actually left with somebody last night and still hadn't come home. I got pissed off and told my mom, I was like, I'm coming home. That's why I told Gabe that I was gonna get all my stuff, I was going home. I was gonna pack all my stuff out of her house and move it back to my mom's. My mom was like, no, you need to make sure that she's okay. Make sure she didn't go with anybody. She could be in danger. You need to turn your ass back and go home, back to the room. Don't lose your job. Don't miss a day of pay. So I turned back around, back to the room. Then I called Donovan, Emily's ex, and I got in her phone to get his number and asked him if this is normal behavior from Emily. And he told me, for sure he's, kind of laughed about it. I was like, man, bro, I tell you the amount of times that she's disappeared on me. He told me about a time in Vegas and some other stuff. So, I told him, I was like, well, what do I do? He was like, wait around until 10 or so. I talked to my mom and dad some more. And then Emily's parents started calling. Her mom called twice.
Why did her mom call?
She was supposed to be, they're close, they talk, and she was supposed to be leaving. She was leaving in the morning.
So she called your phone or her phone?
No, her phone. And then I got the number off Emily's phone. I called her mom and she didn't answer. They were in church. I texted her and said, hey, this is Robert, will you please call me? And then I even tried to call her once from Emily's phone. And she didn't answer, and she eventually called me back. I might even call my ex-wife at the time to let her know what was going on, how crazy this was. Me and Brittany get along good. We don't have, we really do. When I have barbecues and pool parties, I invite my ex-wife and her, man. I have any problem with her. A little bit later, he called me, and my dad told me not to file a police report or call the police or anything until about 1. He said, give it till about 1. If she's not back then, call the police. And then Emily's dad called me and told me, I was sometime around a little bit before noon. He was like, well, it's been approximately about 12 hours. You need to, this has become an emergency. You need to go ahead and call the police. So that's why I called 911. And then the officer showed up, I think about 1. And then I gave him the missing persons report. And then I just started, contacting their friends to see if anybody had heard anything or knew anything, or if this was something normal that Emily does. Then I talked to her parents a couple more times. They told me to keep them posted and updated. When Williams was there, I pulled some of the last of my rig stuff that was in Emily's car and put it into the room. And then I took out my daughter's school bag and her coat and threw it in the room. And they told me to take everything. He told me to take everything out of there. So while I was going at the rig and she came back, she'd have to get a room key and call Carlsbad Police Station in order to get into the room. On the way there, I was literally just break down crying. I called Brittany and I just told her I just need a friend. I just need somebody to talk to. I can't believe this. She was like, oh, you guys are, so good. All you ever do is talk good about Emily. And I was like, I know. I just can't believe she would leave drunk and go with some other douche you even know. I got to the rig. The guy seen how upset I was, and I told him I had a couple drinks because I just couldn't calm my nerves. And I was trying to calm down. And when I got there, they were like, "You need to be in the hotel. You need to be staying there. You need to be there waiting on your girl." And they drove me back. I was pretty worn out about it. Didn't sleep much that night. I called some more people. Monday, I talked to Emily's parents. They said they're going to come down here. I talked to Donovan. After that, the detective showed up.
What do you think happened to Emily?
I don't know. I'm really starting to be getting worried. I think she got in the car with the wrong person and either in a bad situation somewhere or she's still with the wrong person. I don't know. I think she met somebody at the bar and left with them, and I have no clue what happened from there.
Following their interview with Robert, detectives searched for surveillance cameras at the Stevens Inn and the on-site bar, the Blue Cactus Lounge. The hotel did not have any cameras on the exterior. However, there was a camera monitoring the lobby. The hotel bar had surveillance on the interior and exterior. Investigators copied the footage and brought it back to the station for processing. They queued up the footage to a few minutes before Robert said Emily had left the bar. At 11:30 p.m., the footage showed Emily leaving the bar. Detectives described her body language as upset and wanting to get somewhere fast. Detective Naylor said that Emily was dressed nicely and had been drinking. He said that someone could have taken advantage of her mental state at that time. 5 minutes later, Robert Early exited the bar. Once outside, he asked another patron for a cigarette. He then got a light from a man in a cowboy hat and eventually left. Detectives continued working diligently as Emily's parents in Bedford, Texas, gathered the kids and drove to Carlsbad. Donna said they were so worried. However, they tried to shield Emily's kids from what was happening. Donna knew that nothing would have kept her from her girls. She knew something was seriously wrong. Back at the station, detectives asked Robert to submit to a polygraph examination. He agreed and willingly took the polygraph.
There are certain parts about your story that don't make a lot of sense.
I understand that.
And that's one of the reasons why we'll do a polygraph today. Have you ever taken a polygraph examination before?
It was a long time ago.
What for?
My ex-fiance thought I was cheating on her through a U.S. Marshal. And I wasn't cheating on her. I passed.
Through a U.S. Marshal?
He was a retired U.S. Marshal.
Oh, okay, but
we paid for it. It was in Dallas.
so I hired him to do a polygraph exam. What we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and then when we come back in, I'll go over the questions that are going to be on the polygraph.
Okay.
And then we'll begin the polygraph.
Okay.
Whenever there is a threat to your self-preservation or your general well-being, your autonomic nervous system responds. And it responds by changing your heart rate, your breathing rate, and your sweat gland activity. Do you intend to answer truthfully all questions regarding the location of Emily Lambert?
Yes.
Okay. Emily Lambert is your girlfriend, the one that you were with Saturday night, is that correct?
Yes.
Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Do you know where Emily Lambert is located?
No.
Do you live in Texas?
Yes.
Do you know where Emily Lambert is located right now?
No.
Are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Do you know the location of Emily Lambert today?
No.
The test is now complete. Please sit still. I'll release the pressure from the cuff in just a moment. 3 tests that we took, which was surrounding what we're here today for. The location of Emily. And you didn't pass.
How?
It was asked 3 separate ways. And you didn't do well on any of the tests anytime I asked you.
Yeah, I was nervous and I haven't slept.
Okay.
Robert,
there's an easy explanation to this, which means there's some information that you need to come forth with.
I don't have any other information.
Robert, do you realize I've been doing this a long time? I'm actually going to retire this year. I've been a detective for over 15 years, all over the state of New Mexico. Been doing polygraph for approximately 5 years.
I didn't lie on anything in the polygraph test. I don't know where Emily's at. I don't know where her location is. When she left the bar, she left. That's all I know.
Okay. Sergeant Rainey wants to talk to you, okay? You did not pass the polygraph. Wasn't even close.
Got anything in your pockets? Knives, guns, needles, anything that'll poke, stick, stab? No. Okay. Sure?
Yeah.
Alright, come on.
Following the confrontation by the polygraph examiner, Detective Rennie brought Robert to another room for an interview.
What's on your mind?
I'm just waiting to see what you say. I mean, you said you're going to show me.
I'm not going to show you anything.
You said you're going to tell me, or
I'll tell you, dude, hands down, there's enough evidence here.
what evidence do you have against me?
Why would I tell you that right now, Rob? Let me tell you how this is going to go, okay? I'm telling you, when this is over, whatever the outcome, it's over. I won't talk to you again. I won't want to hear from you if I let you go and in 2 hours from then you say, oh shit, I probably should have told you. I'm not going to want to talk to you, okay? That'll be it. This is your one opportunity, the only one you're going to get, to help yourself out, to where when this all comes to a head, you don't look like the monster. Like I told you before, dude, I don't think you're a bad guy at all. I really don't. I kind of like you. You're actually a likable person.
A lot of people do.
I think the alcohol has played a big part in all this. I seriously think you need to quit drinking. I think there were some bad things that happened, and I think it was due to the alcohol. But that ball's in your court, okay? Not in mine. They're doing the search warrants on all the vehicles right now in the room, and I know there's nothing in your room. We already looked. I can tell you, dude, 16 years, last night was the hardest night I've ever had. Hands down. The hardest thing I've ever had to do is look 2 little girls in the eye that says, my mama's lost. Are you going to bring her home? But it still tears me up. Being a father, yeah, man, that wasn't easy to do. And it's still not easy. You're a father. You have a daughter. Staring that young of a kid in the face was, and still is, and probably will be for a long time to come, very difficult. Dude, it was heartbreaking. And I'm telling you, if the shoe was on the other foot, and your daughter they were bringing up here, you would want the same things done.
I've seen shows and different things, and I think maybe should I have a lawyer present right now?
Dude, that's up to you, Robert.
I mean,
You've been Mirandized just recently.
I'm telling you.
But I
You
thought that was
have
just
your own
for-
rights to do what you want to do.
I'm not going to give you that advice because I can't, okay? I can't. All I can tell you is this is the one chance you have to let that mom go home. I don't give a shit in what condition.
We need to bring
Those little
closure.
girls deserve that.
They deserve closure.
You know that. I know that.
I mean, all I've said is what I've said, you know?
Yeah, I know.
But there's more to it. And we know it.
And that's why we have someone from a different agency come in and do those tests. Because it's unbiased. He has no dog in the fight.
We want closure for the little girls. We want closure for you. You know, sometimes crap happens. It's not your normal, not something you normal be involved or be around. But alcohol, sometimes drugs. I'm not saying you're doing drugs, but alcohol. We've all done stupid stuff, you know, or something we normally wouldn't do. Do you know where she's at?
I was certain.
Robert, hands down.
No clue. I was hammered.
I understand that.
You were hammered, but something happened, right? We know that.
So we had an argument and she left. And when she left, and, you know, from the hotel, you know, I mean.
Then what?
I got in the car and tried to drive around and look for her. And
You found her.
no, I never did find her. I never did get to find her. I broke the door handle, I broke the mirror, you know, she's pissed, and I don't know, whoever she left with, and I got in, that's the reason I ran back to the room, or I locked myself out of the room, ran back to get the car, and get in the car and go. And that's why I just pulled out and went the way that I seen them pull out of the Stevens.
You knew she wasn't a vehicle.
I know she went in a vehicle.
What was the vehicle?
It was a thing. He had monster tires with Rockstar wheels on it, white, extended cab truck, and it was the guy who she was talking to, who she was talking to.
Okay, so you're saying, you know, he left, or she left with someone.
I know she left with someone.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why haven't you brought anything up like this before? If you...
Yeah, I figured she'd be back.
Really? Because then, you know what? By not telling us something, that's more time that she's been gone. So that makes me think something different, Robert. That you know more than what you're saying even now.
Robert, your shoulders are pretty heavy, dude. Now you can cross your arms. Your shoulders are heavy. I'm telling you right now, they are. They have been since the moment we started talking to you. Those little girls don't deserve what you're doing. Your little girl does not deserve what you're doing. It's everyone that's around you that's going to suffer for the rest of their lives.
When you have the key.
Why do y'all think I have a key?
You can open the
I don't
door.
know where everything is. I mean, like, I have no clue.
You do have a clue.
You know more than you're saying, because you just gave us more information. Whether it's true or not, I kind of think it's half. Okay? I'm not trying to be an ass to you, but we're dealing with life here, buddy. We're dealing with someone's life.
I know
We're
that.
not here to hammer on you. We're here to get the truth so we can possibly do something to help her. But we have a bad feeling anyways. Not any, you know. I have a feeling she's deceased right now. Okay? This isn't our first time to deal with this. This is not the first time cases that we've dealt many of these. We know how to read people. We know how people operate, how the mind works. Okay?
And you deal with one of two kinds of people. One, something that accident happened, or two, you deal with a monster.
It doesn't
I'm
give
not
a
a
crap.
monster.
Uh-huh.
I said I'm not a monster.
You're not a monster.
No.
Convince me of that right now, because, dude, you coming forward with that right there and saying that, and you've been hiding it for 2 days, I have a problem with. And 12 people looking at that would have a problem with it. They wouldn't have a problem with an accident.
I have no doubt you love her. She's your world. But I think crap went wrong. You know, something you didn't mean to happen
At all.
went south. I don't doubt that there might have been another vehicle or something, but I think they had some assistance, but you were there when something happened.
I can count 6 people, all right off the top of my head, that will be saved a lifetime of questions, a lifetime of wondering. The last one we worked like this, the kid committed because of the grief they shared.
Let's close this. Let's get some closure on this. Let us.
Let me go smoke a cigarette.
Let's go smoke.
I don't think about this.
Start back when you were in the bar.
Same thing I said. Everything's
Okay.
right on until we walk to the hotel, you know, and she, you know, as soon as we get close to the room, you know, I see her sitting in her car and another dude pull up. I get pissed off. I was like, "You gonna leave with him?" So I busted off the mirror, and then I kicked the side of her door and yanked the handle off. And dude pulls up. Emily jumps out and gets in his ride. I have a room key. I run back and get the room key. Run back, get in. Now I got my mom's keys. I seen them pull out. I was just hauling. I figured, hey, you know what? All they're probably, you know, going that way. There ain't nowhere to go this way.
Which way did they go? South?
When you went out?
I don't know the direction. Canal towards Walmart.
Okay.
Towards Walmart, south.
It was whitish, you know, white truck, some big wheels, like I said.
Is it lifted?
It was lifted. And,
Chevy, Dodge, do you know?
man, dude, I was, I mean,
Light bar, anything distinguishing.
I think it had black Nerf rails on it, but I couldn't tell if it was just the step boards. I seen, as I'm coming up to where you would take a left to go to Loving or you go straight, I didn't see any lights really this way,
Okay.
you know, and I seen tail lights way up here.
Going towards Loving.
Going towards Loving. So, you know, I'm waiting at the light, I mean, I'm pretty shitty too, you know what I'm saying? So I'm flying, trying to stay, and then they cut off and go towards Jow, you know.
Okay.
So
On 31.
I'm 31. And there's still quite a ways ahead of me. I go that way. As soon as, you know, I'm trying to catch him, but shit, I'm in a little Hyundai, and it's, you know, and I'm drunk and I'm trying to swerve. He pulls up into some sort of looking like housing little area or something, like a house or something. I know where it's at.
Okay.
Because, you know, I drove by it on the way to the rig when I went last night, you know, and I was looking I was like, well, I don't see any lights or any cops, you know, I mean, obviously she made it out of there, you know, and, but when I pulled in that night, they had already pulled in and behind and then to the back, and by the time I get out, Emily barely had any clothes on, you know, and I pull up, we start, you know, beefing, and he comes running at me with a pipe, and she jumps in front, BAM!
Where'd he hit her?
Right in the head. I mean, and I was like, God, you know, and he comes at me, I just got in the car and just burned out, you know. I figured, what am I going to do now? I should have called the police right away.
Was he Hispanic?
Oh, no, it was like a big cowboy, white guy, cowboy hat. And I left her there, and that's it's been eating at me because I didn't know what to say. I don't know what, you know.
Did you cause that?
My criminal background,
Who gives a shit?
That doesn't matter.
I'm on bond probation. I mean, I was drunk. I figured she'd come up and wound up in the hospital the next couple of days or something. You know, I mean, and I wanted to be
Did
done.
she go down? Was she moving? What?
She went down, you know, and she got back up. She started, you know, talking shit, and I mean, he is pretty good, but Emily's a big girl. I mean, you know, she's, from what I hear from her friends, you know, she's real high-headed when she's drunk, and she can handle herself.
Where did he hit her, in the face or the?
Yeah, he was swinging at me and hit her. It looked like he hit her kind of right across the face. And, you know, I heard her whimpering and stuff, and I burned out. I didn't know if he was going back to get a gun, if he was going to come back and shoot me for being there. The situation's about to turn, and I'm going to lose my life too. So I left. I should have just been honest and said everything from the start. I waited it out because I didn't know what else to do. I'd never been in this situation. I've seen movies and all the 48s and stuff. I mean, I'm guilt by association.
What were you doing out there? Trying to go get her, right?
Robert, you know what sucks?
That I didn't do anything and I could have.
That's the thing that sucks. Is you could have called. And, I mean, if anything's bad happened since then, that sucks.
It could have been out there Sunday.
Yeah. Could have been out there Saturday night.
Can you show us where that location is?
You show me where the house is?
Is it a crew cab?
Was she bleeding?
Looked like there was blood.
Okay, not look like there was blood, Robert.
Like, he hit her across the face, man. I looked at her mouth, and her mouth was swollen right off the bat. And she was still feisty. And he was coming back at me.
What did he say?
Oh, he was cussing me up and down. You mother, you punk, my chick. You know, and as soon as he started coming at me with the bar because I pulled up, Emily jumps right in front, and he's swinging, and she just took the whole entire force, and it didn't hit me.
What the pipe look like?
Silverish, with some sort of, look like that's a sort of like he made it like some sort of
Grip or something?
no, like, you know, like maybe one of those pipes that, like from a rig that would stand up like a sign would be on.
So was it all the same color all the way through? Any bends on it or just straight?
Just straight at the bottom. I know everybody's mad at me now.
Hey, you know, that the reason they will be is because you didn't step up and say something. But the positive is that you didn't do it. You went after to try to help her. Does he have a mustache or anything? Or
He had goatee.
a goatee? Was he wearing a black hat or a silver one or a straw?
Like the lighter colored.
Silver belly, yeah. Did he
You
pull
know.
the pipe out of his truck?
out of the back seat. He came around from the back seat with it.
And it was a crew cab?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I figured she'd already picked the car up and everything, and then after I made the missing persons report, and the reason I didn't come forward is because I'd already made that report and I didn't divulge everything, and I figured that after
You figured that report, we would find her.
Yeah, and then, or something, and then it started getting deeper into it, and then it was like, oh, well, I lied on this because I really knew, because I thought she'd be found, and then y'all showed up the next day, or then again, and then I was like, pacing, do I keep with the story, But, you know what I'm saying? And more and more of me is just eating me up.
Oh, there's no way you can live with this.
I haven't been sleeping, I've been diarrheaing,
It will drive you crazy.
Looking at this man's eyes when he's talking about the girls, those are my girls, man. I love those girls.
Following the interview, investigators took a field trip with Robert to the location of his fight with Emily and the pickup truck driving, cowboy hat wearing man. Detectives were hopeful that Emily was still alive. Robert stayed in the car as police searched the area. Detective Naylor located a woman's wristwatch. Here is an animated computer rendering of the scene. Near the back of the property, detectives found the body of a young woman lying face down. Emily Lambert was no longer missing. Detective Rennie broke the news to Emily's boyfriend and, shortly thereafter, to her parents. Donna said that they hugged each other and she said, "Well, we're alone now." Stephen described hearing the news as being struck with a baseball bat. He said, "It takes your breath away." Back at the crime scene, it's clear Emily suffered horrific injuries. Her face and head were swollen from apparent trauma. Detective Rennie said that she was discarded in a field like trash. Emily was naked except for a bra. She had blunt force injuries to her head and ligature marks around her neck. They determined that the killer dragged Emily's body over 500 feet to its final resting place. The Carlsbad Police Department was now investigating a homicide. Police searched for surveillance cameras between where they located Emily's body and the Stevens Inn. They were searching for the white pickup truck Robert saw her get into. Detectives found a camera facing the highway at a Walmart. They viewed the footage starting at 11:30 p.m. when Emily was last seen on camera leaving the bar. Detectives spotted a white truck 2 minutes after midnight and 30 minutes after Emily left the bar. The vehicle pulled into the parking lot, traveling near the gas pumps, and later disappeared out of frame. The distance from the camera made it impossible to determine the vehicle's occupants or the license plate. Detectives questioned and alibied all the men who left the bar that night within 30 minutes of Emily. None of them had the opportunity to pick Emily up and commit the horrific act based on the timeline Robert provided. With leads drying up, the investigators looked at the footage from the hotel lobby. They cued the footage to 11:48 a.m. when Robert said Emily got in the white truck. The detectives' attention is brought to the right of frame as they spot a familiar face. It's Robert. According to Robert's story, he should have been in his hotel room with Emily now. Robert left the camera's view for a few seconds and then returned with his phone pressed to his ear. He appeared agitated, and as the receptionist handed over the room key, he immediately grabbed it, turned, and left. Detective Rennie believed Robert had gotten a key because Emily had locked him out of the room. He called her on his phone and was angry because she would not open the room door for him. Investigators thought Robert knew a lot more than what he told them. Detectives must find out for sure who Robert was talking to and why. They subpoenaed both Emily and Robert's phone records. The records revealed a voicemail from Robert Early left on Emily's phone. The voicemail was left just minutes after Robert left the reception area with the new keycard. It was clear that a struggle had occurred in the room between Emily and Robert. Investigators assigned a new detective to interview him, Detective Alan Sanchez. Detective Sanchez said that he first wanted to establish a rapport with him. He allowed Robert to take a smoke break and chatted with him. Robert admitted to some level of involvement in Emily's death during the smoke break, and Detective Sanchez brought him to an interview room for a formal statement.
I kicked the shit out of the door and knocked the eye hole off.
The room door?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think she had showed back up yet. And I had to go back and get that second key. I'm not sure. I went straight in though, I remember that. I don't remember the exact part that I walked back into the bar and told Gabe that she had left. Because I think she pulled off again.
Okay.
And then came back and was like, I'm getting my shit and I'm leaving. We're done, it's over, I'm leaving you, this and that. And I was like, really? And then she was wanting to drive. That's what started the whole altercation in the room. She wanted to drink and drive all the way back to Fort. I said, no, you're not leaving. Very stubborn. So she started fighting with me over it. I said, you're not leaving. You're going to sleep in that bed, I'll sleep in this bed. And she started going crazy with me. And we started, pushing around. And that's when she grabbed my arm and bit the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then swept me back. And I put my head against the wall. And that's when I got up and hit her. And then, I had already ripped off her mirror, her handle.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to get out. And I kicked us out of her car. And we got back to the room and we scoped around. I hit her and then I kicked her. A couple times. I lost it.
Where did you kick her the first time?
I think in the mouth.
Okay.
I hit her in the side and kicked her in the mouth.
Okay. And then the second and third time you kicked her?
I don't think I kicked her in the body. I might have once. After I kicked her those 2 times, she was still okay. She got up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? I was pretty shocked. And came at me again. And that went from one side of the room to the other living room. And then I kicked her a couple more times. I was able to get her down. And she was crazy. I was tripping out. I didn't know what was going on, and then I kicked her again there.
Where'd you kick her that time?
I think in the face.
Okay.
Pretty much all headshots.
Okay.
For that I can remember.
Okay.
And I started freaking out. I'm like, oh, and she was just laying there like breathing, like a weird breath. And I was
like she was knocked out?
Yeah, and I didn't know what to do. And so I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I put her in the car and drove out there, and then we scoped again behind that guy's house. She came to, and then as she was coming at me, I grabbed that freaking air pump that was, she had everything because she had drove down there, the air pump, and like my other hard hat and stuff was in the front seat. Bunch of just miscellaneous shit, And I grabbed that and whacked her with it, and I whacked her with it a couple times. I remember hitting her a couple more times and then leaving. I was so worried and so upset and stuff. I remember in the morning I couldn't believe it, and I drove back out there, to see if she was okay or moving or anything. If she wasn't, I was freaked out. I didn't know what to do. And I was crying all the way back, like, oh my God,
what happened?
Yeah. What did I do?
How did you drag her back there, brother? I know it's probably a shitty thing to think about, but did you grab her and drag her back, or did you wrap her with something and drag her back?
I wrapped her with something.
What did you wrap her with?
Rope.
A rope? Did you try to run her neck?
It was just a quick, like a slip, and then just threw it around the passenger door and shut the door. I was freaked out. It was back like this. I wouldn't even, probably wouldn't even back there for a whole total of 15, 20 minutes, but bam, and then out of there, and then I back to the hotel room, took a shower, and was freaked out, and then all of a sudden I was able to lay down and pass out. I was annihilated, and I was worn out, and at that point in time, I was just like, I woke up in the morning, I had seen the rope, the mirror was on the ground outside, the handle was in the room, and I was panicked and freaked out, and then cleaned up, and then went straight to go see her. I mean, there was really no blood in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
And that's what they're going to want to hear is I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Sorry to ruin the best girl of my life. I'm sorry for my kids. I'm sorry for my kid.
You truly are sorry, Robert?
God, it's so bad, dude. You don't even know how bad.
I know.
I mean, I was able to cry a lot. I mean, the first couple of days, and then I just got to the point where it was just weighing on me. I couldn't breathe. I just cigarette after cigarette after cigarette. I mean, and I drank. I had to do something to even be able to lay down and sit like that, because I mean, I'm trying to live this lie thinking it was going to go away.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to go away. I just didn't. I kept on thinking maybe I can make it right with God somehow, and just never do anything bad again, and be there for my daughter, and it'll be okay.
In a sense, you've at least started that to make it right by telling the truth, you know?
And I'm so scared to go to jail, dude. I've never been to big jail.
I hear you. And I'm not going to sit here and say I understand because I've never been to jail, but, you know.
Man, I was freaked out. And then that all was from, like, I was still drunk, probably, 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
On when I woke up and I see the dress laying on the ground and all this stuff. I was like, oh my God.
On the ground where?
In the room.
Oh, okay.
She didn't have it. And I was like, oh my God. And then the worst thing was, like, my best friend was gone. My best friend was gone. Her.
Oh, okay.
Where's
the rope at?
You want to go for a ride? Go smoke a cigarette?
Yeah, we'll go for a ride and we'll check it out.
They're going to put me somewhere with a bunch of hardcore murderers that don't give a Man, I really wish I was in Texas. Not really, actually. How are y'all's laws?
Man, I've been doing detective work for a little while, but I'm more familiar with the dope laws. As far as this,
like this, and what they get.
Mm-hmm. This kind of stuff, it all depends. And like I told you, it all depends on honesty. It all depends on honesty. You know what I mean?
And I don't think I'm trying to be selfish. I've been stressed out about this so hardcore, and I didn't know what to say. And I was just hoping I was going to at least get to home to see my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And then I started thinking about her kids and stuff, and I had to put it on my mind because it eating me up. And then I was like, well, this other truck and this and that. I was like, okay, well, here goes those questions again. I'm in the polygraph. And then some dude saying he seen me get in a truck, which wasn't the case, which I think was probably bull in the first place to get me to confess.
No, actually, I can tell you this. Some guy actually did say that. So,
well, that must have happened with somebody else.
Yeah. And we started to figure that out.
Oh, y'all figured out it was somebody else?
Yeah, we figured out that there was no way that could have happened. So we were like, well, he's telling the truth about that because, we got to we got to put the bits and pieces together, and that didn't fit. You understand what I'm saying? Well, let's go for a ride. Let's go take a break. Let's go have a smoke. And then we'll go for a ride. You can show me where the dress is at, where the rope's at. And then we'll go from there. You want to talk some more? We'll talk some more, man.
Robert admitted to kicking Emily repeatedly in the head and face with steel-toed boots. He then brought her to the dump site, where he beat her in the head again using an air pump. Afterward, Robert tied a rope around her neck, shut the other end of the rope in the back passenger door, and dragged her over 500 feet on a rocky road. Robert claimed the initial fight was in self-defense and that Emily had regained consciousness at the dump site, and that is why he beat her with the air pump. On the way to the jail, he told Detective Sanchez what really happened.
We're discussing some stuff on the way back from the scene, bringing them back to the jail. Robert, I'm going to go just advise you, like what we just talked about just a few minutes ago. I'm going to advise you of your rights real quick, okay? You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney and have it present during questioning. If you can't afford one will be appointed to by the court free of charge. If you decide to start answering questions, you can stop at any time. Okay? You understand your rights?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were giving me a little bit more detail about what happened, like, before you took her out there and while you were out there and stuff. Can we go over that again?
Okay.
You said whenever you loaded her up in the car, you grabbed her by the... How'd you grab her?
Underarms.
On her arms?
Underarms.
Underarms. Okay. Then you put her in the car. Was she conscious at that time?
No, she was out.
She was out?
She was out.
Okay. And then you drove her out there to the house on 31. Did she ever regain consciousness?
No.
Never?
Never.
Okay. So she didn't fight with you out there?
No.
Okay. So then whenever you got there, what'd you do? You pulled her out of the back seat?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened?
And I was like, well, it was right behind the house, so I drug her back to behind that barn, and I didn't know I didn't know what was going on, and I hit her a couple of times with the bar to make, because I didn't want her to be laying there all night long, just, in pain, or I don't even know if
You don't want her...
I didn't know. I mean, she wasn't breathing. I just didn't know what was going on, and I hit her with the bar a couple times.
Did you do that to make sure she wasn't suffering? To make sure she was dead, or?
I guess, because I thought she was, and I just didn't want. I mean, she looked pretty bad. I know she was gonna lay there and just freeze to death, or because it was gonna be cold in the morning.
Okay.
So I hit her with the bar a couple times.
Once you hit her with the bar, after you drug her, once you hit her with the bar, then what happened?
I put the rope on the hood, grabbed the bar, wrapped it up, and left.
And then whenever you left, then what happened?
Well, the rope came off, I guess, the hood, and I wasn't even thinking about it, and I threw the bar off the side of the road. And then in the morning I woke up, I went back to the hotel, washed up, passed out, woke up at 5:30 in a panic, like, oh, and I seen my pants, and I freaked out, and I drove straight back out there to see if she was moving or anything.
And did you go back out there and see her body?
Mm-hmm. She wasn't moving.
She wasn't moving.
And I panicked then, and I just started trying to cover my tracks.
Mm-hmm. How'd you do that?
Oh, well, I found the rope, I threw it off the side of the road.
You found the rope laying?
It was not too far behind the house. It blew off the hood.
Oh, okay.
And I was driving. I seen it. I just picked it up and threw it off the side of the road on the way back.
And then what happened?
I went back to the room, grabbed the pans, wrapped them in the trash, and threw them in the hotel trash can at first. And I didn't know if she was going to be found. They're going to go search the trash cans and stuff, so I threw it away in the dumpster at the Chevron.
Okay.
I got a pack of cigarettes and was going to head back to Fort Worth and move my stuff out of her house and just be done and act like she had left with another guy, which was what she was originally said she was going to do, but she didn't end up doing that. And then my mom told me to come back because she could be hurt. She's not there. She didn't show up because I originally told my mom she left with somebody else. And I turned back around.
So you were actually on your way to Fort Worth?
I was going to go to Fort Worth, yeah. And I turned back around and really started thinking in my head that if I leave, it's just going to look so much worse. And so I came back. And there was a little bit of blood on the wall, on a couple walls. I kind of wiped down with my finger, one with a little bar of soap. I had her dress. It was in the room. I seen it in the room. And I threw it in a bag and I chunked it the next day. I went to work that night. I filed that missing persons report around 1 and tried to stay with that story because I couldn't believe what happened. And I was scared. So I stuck with what I originally told my mom. I couldn't put all the pieces together yet, and I knew I was looking at something that was horrible.
Mm-hmm. You think there's any justification for what you did?
I mean, at first I was trying to keep her from leaving because she was hammered and I didn't want her to get in the car and drive. And then when we started with the altercation. I mean, at first, she had put me on the ground relatively easily, which I was kind of surprised, but it threw me off guard, and it pissed me off because my head hit the wall, and then I reacted and hit her, and then when she fell, I kicked her in the head with my steel toe. And
did you kick her hard?
Yeah, I mean, I kicked her hard. And I kicked her, I mean, she was still talking shit, and I kicked her again a couple more times, and then she was completely out. And then I was freaking out, and I didn't know what to do.
I know you feel remorseful for what happened. I know you feel sorry for what happened and stuff. But when you look at the totality of everything, when you look at the whole situation, do you really feel like there was a real good justification?
We were drunk and we were scuffling, and it escalated. I mean, you can't ever justify hurting somebody like that, in my mind. It's something I would never do if I was sober, straight thinking I'm a really good, nice guy. I mean, take care of my daughter. I love her kids. I can't let it go that I actually did that to her. I feel horrible.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I'm extremely sorry. I'm sorry for her parents. I'm sorry for her kids. I'm sorry for my daughter and my family.
After his arrest, Robert made a call to his mother.
Hello?
Hey,
Hey,
well, did you hear the news?
yes, I sure did.
And I'm being charged.
Yep.
Well,
Tell me the truth now.
Well, we were really, really drunk, and Emily was trying to leave, and I tried to keep her from not going, and she bit me and threw me into the wall, and I hit her. Oh, she bit me to where there was blood coming off my arm. I hit her. Things got really bad. I was blacked out. I mean, I didn't really remember most of it until everything bad happened, and then it just went really south. I really didn't know what else to do.
What do you mean you didn't know what else to do besides kill her?
I didn't mean to.
Well, how did you do it?
I'm not even getting into all that.
Well, from what I hear, it was pretty bad. I don't want you to give me details. I don't want to live with that. But I just can't believe it. I feel dead inside. Because I just can't believe it, that you got yourself that out of control.
Mom, we had been drinking all day, and I got scared after it happened. It just went bad from worse. I was honest. I showed, after I showed everything and found everything, to try to make it look better. I mean, I didn't want it to happen. I loved Emily.
She was making decisions on the drunk brain, too, and you've been around that, and
I know, and normally I don't act, and after I got bit and something to the wall, I lost it. It pissed me off. She's very, very hot-headed and stubborn when she's drunk, and it went from, I just played into it, and I shouldn't have.
Well, you've never, ever been able to grab a hold of your emotions when you needed to, when you got hot-headed.
I'm hoping I get crime of passion or something like that, but I don't know.
He told Brittany that it wasn't crime of passion. He said it was just alcohol. Please tell me. Well, I want you to be honest, though. Was it premeditated or it just happened?
It just happened.
Brittany's just going to tell her that her daddy's working out of the country and just hope to God no kids or other parents open their mouths because this will devastate her.
I mean, I might be gone for 10 or less or more.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I just
I'll
feel
be 70 when you get out.
I
70
know,
or so.
Mom, I know you'll be 70 when I get out.
But, Robbie, I know how you were when you were drinking. I know that you got out of hand before, but not like that. And I figured she provoked you, and you couldn't stop. That's what I really figured happened.
Well, I've been thinking about this. I got that $800 check that's coming to your house.
Yeah.
Sign it and give half to Brittany and half to me.
You?
I'm going to need some money. I don't know where I'm going. I need to at least walk into wherever I'm going with some money.
$400 to you?
Just, your mom will be gone for a while, and that'll save you guys from having to do it. And all my income tax money that I had that's in Emily's account, I'm just going to give it to them.
Give it to who?
To let Emily's parents keep it. I mean, what else do you think I should do? You want to ask your parents for my income tax money?
No, I don't want to ask them for anything like that.
Because, I mean, I was going to try to give it to you to give to...
I'd like to do that too, but I am not. They're nice people, but I imagine I'm the last person they want to hear from right now.
Is it on the news there that I did this?
Oh, big time. Pictures of you and her together kissing, and your name all spelled out. You know, I'm just beating myself up trying to figure out what I did wrong with you.
You didn't do anything wrong with me.
Your dad's just, he believed in you till the end. And I had to call him and tell him. I knew it. I knew it was exactly what you just told me. Because and when Brittany provoked you,
Hey. No, don't do any of that.
Okay. I just know that you can't. Alcohol does stupid things to people.
All her friends knew that she got really hot-headed when she was drunk. Normally, I just let it bypass.
Well,
this time it made me really mad.
No excuse.
I know.
Whether she got hot-headed or not, there's none.
Mom, when you're
gonna
blacked,
have plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah, when you're blacked out. I mean, look, my daughter, you never know how old she's gonna be when I get out. Will she even remember me? I mean, my dog will be dead. He's probably only got 3 or 4 years left and good.
I tell you what, your brother's very upset. I know who you are when you're rational. You are the person I'm talking to right now. I knew that with alcohol involved, that wasn't going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
Did you get a court-appointed attorney or ask for one during all this?
They're going to have to give me a court-appointed attorney, but I don't do any of that until I get down to the jail, right?
Well, I think you could have asked while you were being interviewed to ask for a lawyer.
They won't do it until I get arraigned. Oh, that sucks. I'm going to be arraigned so early. No sleep. I'll be up, Mom.
Plenty of time to sleep now.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
I can't
call you.
I
do love you, and I don't know.
I'll probably take a plea bargain. I'm not going to go to trial on this. I don't know what they'll say in trial. I just don't want to get the book thrown at me.
Yeah. All right. Well, when you get out, you can have a life.
Yeah,
find a job. It's going to be really hard now.
Well, tell her I love her.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
That was hard.
Yeah, man. Robert was charged with kidnapping and murder in the first degree and tampering with evidence. Roughly 1 year later, his trial began, lasting 3 weeks. On May 15th, 2015, after deliberating for a few hours, the jury found Robert Early guilty on all 3 counts. The judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In the aftermath, Emily's parents graciously raised her children. Donna said that Emily was such a vibrant person and a great mom. She said, "It's sad that the girls never really got the chance to know her." Stevens said life without Emily is difficult. He said, "You don't get used to losing a child." For more videos of cases never seen on YouTube, click one of the videos on screen now or the links in the pinned comment. Goodbye for now.